Okay, so I'm here at Costco and we have a 77-inch LG C3 and they gave me this old LG remote because the original they just don't have it available. So I'm struggling to move around the menus, but I am able to move around the menus, but it just stops working. So what I'm going to do to show you all the options that we have available is I'm going to be pausing the video and then struggling to make the change and then showing you the changes. So right now what I have, the settings that I have on SDR are Gamma 2.2, the brightness OLED light max out, contrast on 85, color gamut on auto, saturation 55, and I'm gonna show you all the options we have available. So you see here we have this dark room mode, VRR. Let me see what is this dark room mode. Yeah, this is just dimming stuff, not interested. It's just going to dim the picture for absolutely no reason. Okay, so on Game Optimizer mode we have the contrast and the black level locked, also the color saturation, all of that, but you can control those settings here under picture. Okay, so you see under picture we have the options to control the black and the white stabilizer, the contrast, the black level, which is very important to have access to. Also the sharpness and the color depth. This is the color saturation. We also have this ultra wide aspect ratios, which is very nice. I like these options a lot. And you see they are on the same menu on the reset. We also have this screen position, which I have no idea what it is. It is locked. And here we can also go to the advanced settings. Okay, so you see the settings that I'm using here on Game Optimizer mode. We have the peak brightness locked for absolutely no reason on Game Optimizer mode. You can use the color control app on your PC to change that to high and get the brightness that you pay for, okay? So I have Gamma 2.2, the brightness max out, and I'm using black frame insertion right now. So OLED Motion Pro is on. We have the video range option. This material is limited range. And we still have this motion eye care, which I don't know why this option is there. I'm sure nobody uses this. I don't know why this option is still a thing. Okay, so now here under the color settings, what I like the most about this C3 G3 is this color gamut options that we have. So I'm gonna try to change back and forth between these color gamut options, and of course on SDR you want to be on auto detect for an accurate picture. Rec 709, so auto detect is going to clamp the color gamut to the SDR color space, so you can get accurate colors. But if you want a more saturated or vivid picture, you would use native color gamut. Now I see, and I'm trying to change the settings. Okay, now I see that changing from native color gamut to Adobe RGB, basically Adobe RGB is looking less saturated when I compare the reds. So it might be a good option if you don't want to get like wild colors, but you still want a little bit more color saturation than just SDR. Maybe Adobe RGB is the way to go. And this is not something that I'm 100% sure, because I would need to test it more, especially with this broken remote that doesn't let me change the settings fast enough to see the differences. But that's what I believe. So let me try to change the settings here on the fly for you. You see the difference, especially on the reds between Adobe RGB and native. Now dynamic, I have no idea what dynamic is doing. It looks more saturated than auto detect, but definitely less saturated than native. Let's see if we can change to dynamic. See, you can see any difference. I wish I had the remote. Maybe if I can come with my with my LG C1 remote, it's gonna work, and it's not gonna tell me this remote not supported. And this is clearly some crap from LG, because the remote clearly works. They are just trying to lock, so you cannot use a a previous remote, an old remote, for no reason. This is program obsolescence 101. If this remote can actually control the TV, why would you try to lock the remote? That makes no sense. So yeah. So the other thing I have to mention is that the blacks on this LG C3 look black to me. I do not see any black level rays. I think that's an issue with MLA only on the G3. But here on the C3, the screen looks the same as the C1. As far as I can tell here on the store, I've seen some black screens already, and yeah, I cannot see any issues with the black level, which is something very good. It's awesome actually. I'm very happy to see that. And yeah, it looks the same. I mean, I can tell you, I see it looks exactly the same as the LG C1. I do not see any shocking difference or anything like that. I am using OLED Motion Pro right now, and it looks dark. It looks dark without that peak brightness. I wish I could use that peak brightness on high to really see. You see that black screen? It looks okay. It looks fine, the black screens. So let me leave this color gamut in native and show you other settings. Oh wait, let me see if I can show you this comparison between native and Adobe RGB. See if you can notice any difference. Let's take a look at the red. Come on. Yes. So Adobe RGB is. Wow. What happened there? Was it more saturated than native? I have to go back and watch that comparison again. Let's see. Let's take a look at the red. No, native look more saturated than Adobe RGB. So native is supposed to be DCI-P3. So we can see any difference. Okay, so this is a good one. We have a lot of red. See, dynamic is weird. I don't know what dynamic is doing. This looks good. This is a good comparison here. Let me see if I can change it. Come on. Oh, I couldn't. Okay, so what I did now is I changed to filmmaker mode, and I changed the brightness settings so we can see how bright the TV gets. I of course also turn off OLED Motion Pro. And filmmaker mode is defaulting to color depth 50 and the white balance in warm 50. So auto detect, that's Rec 709 on SDR, and the warm 50. You see, warm 50. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it to color gamut native. So I have all the brightness on leash with a warm 50 in filmmaker mode. So peak brightness on high, gamma 2.2, and I have to actually reduce the gain, the ISO of my camera, because it is too bright. So you can see how it looks. And I actually have an LCD screen here side by side, which is this TV. So you can see how it compares with the vivid mode in this screen with the LG C3. I think this is a good comparison. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at the diff. See, the C3 looks brighter. It looks a lot better than this LCD screen, of course. The price is not even close. It better be. But yeah, I actually like it, man. I have to say, I do like how it looks. It looks bright. I can tell you for sure this TV is bright enough for a bright room. 100%. This is a very bright place. Look at the lights we have here. This is very bright. And the TV is perfectly visible. When you max out all the brightness, the TV looks okay for a bright room. I have that native color gamut, so take a look at the red. That red is beautiful. The red is very saturated. Very saturated. Okay, look at that. Big difference. So this is the vivid mode of this LCD screen. Look at the difference. It's not even close. So much more vibrant. Tremendous. And actually, these settings are much better than vivid mode because you're not clipping colors. It looks more impressive than what they have set up on the store, and it doesn't look disgusting. I don't know why they use disgusting settings for absolutely no reason. Look at that. Now, on this scene here, this one looks more green because it's on vivid mode. It's just disgusting colors. But you can get a beautiful color saturation instead of a disgusting color saturation. See, this red looks more saturated, but at the same time, it doesn't look terribly wrong. See? So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you have any questions, I mean, this was very tough. I needed to stop the recording because this remote is just not working for this TV. So I have to keep pressing to bring up the menus. So it is very difficult to navigate the menus like that. But I think I answered the questions that I wanted. Well, some of the questions that I wanted to answer, mainly the black label. I was wondering if it was going to be looking like an LCD screen basically on this bright room, because the G3 has me concerned with that black level rays under lighting conditions. They do not have the G3 here yet, so I will definitely check out the G3, and I'm probably gonna go to Best Buy to see the S95C, the G3, and yeah, and take a look at that QD OLED brightness awesomeness, the color brightness awesomeness, and I will give you my opinion about that. But the C3 is just too expensive. I would get a C1 for sure, just because it has that black frame insertion at 120, and for me that is a must. I mean, the TV has to have that feature, because why would you downgrade that? It just doesn't make any sense. This TV is not significantly brighter than the C1, and it has that, it's missing that feature. It's missing that feature, so that's just a deal breaker. See the difference? A big difference. It looks fantastic. The C3 looks fantastic. If this TV had black frame insertion, I would be very happy with it. I mean, it would be like, man, this is fantastic. Definitely recommend it. It's a great TV, but yeah, see the blacks. So yeah, I'm gonna stop the video here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.